Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Blog Podcast. Today is Wednesday, October 24th, 2018. Today I'm going to recap last night's Game 1 of the World Series between the Dodgers and the Red Sox, go over the NBA and NHL games from last night, look ahead to tonight's slate, and I'll discuss the New York Football Giants becoming the New York Football Sellers Giants. So, that's that. The Red Sox defeat the Dodgers 8-4 to take a 1-0 series lead. Matt Barnes gets the win. Clayton Kershaw gets the loss. Bottom of the first, they get going. Following a play in the outfield, or I should say the middle infield, or the middle in between the infield and the outfield, a play wasn't made. Red Sox take advantage. RBI single. Andrew Benintendi. Mookie Betts scores. Benintendi to second on the throw. 1-0 Sox. Bottom of the second, JD Martinez, RBI single, drives in Benintendi, 2-0 Sox. Top of the second, home run, Matt Kemp puts the Dodgers on the board, 2-1. Top of the third, RBI single, Manny Machado, 2-2. Bottom of the third, RBI double, JD Martinez, 3-2 Sox. Top of the fifth, RBI groundout, Manny Machado ties it at 3 apiece. Bottom of the fifth, fielder's choice, Xander Bogaerts being out to double play, 3-4 Sox. RBI single, Rafael Devers, 5-3 Sox. Top of the seventh, sacrifice fly, Manny Machado. Made it a 5-4 game. And the bottom of the seventh, 3-run home run, pinch hit, Eduardo Nunez. Put the game away, 8-4, your final. Chris Sale only went 4 innings. He didn't pitch that well. 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Clayton Kershaw wasn't good either. Although I wouldn't blame this on him entirely. Ryan Madson couldn't get the job done following Kershaw, so those earned runs were charged to him. 4 innings, 7 innings, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. And that bullpen for the Dodgers didn't perform like it did against Milwaukee. Red Sox bullpen was really, really good. The lone pitcher that gave up a run was Ryan Brazier. Game 2 is tonight, 8 o'clock on Fox. You have Heijin Ryu against David Price, so that should be fun. If I had to guess who wins that game, that would be tough. Last night, I didn't really pick it on the podcast in terms of Game 1, Game 2. I just said Red Sox in 6. I would have taken Boston. Tonight, you know what? I've taken Boston again. David Price coming off his best start of his postseason career. I just think the Red Sox at Fenway will find another way. And then they go back to LA. The Dodgers will win 2 there. And then they close it out in 6. That's how I think this goes. NBA. 3 games on the slate. Last night, the Pistons defeated the 76ers 133-132 in overtime. The Pistons are 3-0. Philly is 2-2. Blake Griffin had one of the best games of his life. 50 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists. 20 of 35 shooting. 5 for 10 from 3. 44 minutes. Reggie Jackson, 23 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 for 14 shooting. Ish Smith off the bench. 21 points, 9 for 12 shooting. No Ben Simmons for the 76ers. Joel Embiid had a good game. 33 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 11 for 20 shooting. Markelle Fultz, 13 points, 6 rebounds and an assist, 6 for 9 shooting. J.J. Redick off the bench, 30 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 9 for 21 shooting, 6 for 15 from 3. The Pelicans defeated the Clippers 116-109. The Pelicans are 3-0. The Clippers are 2-2. Anthony Davis was phenomenal. 34 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, 11 for 21 shooting in 40 minutes. Alfred Payton, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 7 for 11 shooting. Etuan Moore was okay, 14 points. Julius Randle, 18 points and 5 rebounds off the bench. Nikola Mirotic, 18 points and 12 rebounds, 7 for 18 shooting. 0 for 6 from 3, though. The Nuggets feed the Kings 126-112. The Nuggets are 4-0. Sacramento's 1-3. Jamal Murray, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists and a rebound, 6 for 10 shooting. Gary Harris, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 8 for 12 shooting, 2 for 4 from 3. Nikola Jokic, 14 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, and 6 for 11 shooting. Paul Millsap, 15 points, 15 and 5 rebounds in 22 minutes shooting, or 22 minutes and 6 for 10 shooting. Trey Lyles off the bench, 12 points, 5 rebounds. Sacramento, Marvin Bagley off the bench, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 9 for 11 shooting in 32 minutes. Their starters weren't good at all. Shumpert had 12, Cauley-Stein had 11, and Bajika had 10. Frank Mason off the bench had 14 points in 27 minutes. Justin Jackson, 17 points, 7 for 11 shooting in 28 minutes off the bench. Tonight's slate's a bigger one. You have at 7 o'clock on ESPN the Mavericks and the Hawks. The Luka Doncic Bowl. Don't forget that Luka Doncic was drafted by the Hawks. And the Mavericks made the trade up to get him. And the Hawks ended up with Trae Young. So there's a little bit of intrigue on this game. But that said, the Mavericks are the better team. The Hawks are trying to lose intentionally, even though the Hawks found a way in Cleveland. That was courtesy of Trae Young getting hot. That will happen on occasion. But I don't think tonight's one of those nights. I think Luka Doncic has the best game of his young career on ESPN and leads the Mavericks to a win. 7:30, you have the Knicks and the Heat. Miami's an 8.5-point favorite. I think the Knicks are the sneaky underdog that I think can win outright. There's been big underdogs winning outright left and right this year so far. You saw the Kings win as a big underdog in Oklahoma City. And then on Monday, you saw the Magic win as a big underdog in Boston. The Pelicans won as a big underdog on Wednesday night in Houston. Miami was a 5-point underdog in D.C. on Thursday last week. So this has been happening a lot this season. I think the most likely candidate tonight is the New York Knicks. Nets Cavaliers, it was a 7 o'clock game. Timberwolves Raptors 7:30 as well as Knicks Heat. The Hornets and the Bulls 8 o'clock. Jazz Rockets 8:30 Pacers Spurs 9 o'clock ESPN, 9:30. The 76ers and the Bucks. The Bucks are rolling right now. The Sixers may not have Ben Simmons again tonight, so give me Milwaukee at home. 10 o'clock, you have the Lakers and the Suns, the Grizzlies and the Kings, and 10:30, you have the Wizards and the Warriors. Hockey. Pretty big slate last night. There is a total of 8 games. The Rangers defeated the Panthers 5-2. Impressive win for the New York Rangers, who improved to 3-5-1. Florida drops to 1-3-3. The number 1 started a game with 2 goals and 2 assists, Mika Zibanejad. Number 2 started a game with 2 goals, Mats Zuccarello. Number 3 started a game with 2 assists, Neil Pionk. The Coyotes defeated the Blue Jackets 4-1. The Coyotes, with another surprising win, are 3-5. Columbus is 4-4. Number 1 star of the game with a hat trick, Christian Fischer. The number 2 star of the game with 3 assists, Derek Stepan. And the number 3 star of the game with 35 saves on 36 shots, backup goaltender Darcy Kemper. The Canadiens defeated the Flames 3-2. Good win for Montreal. They continue their surprising start. They're 5-1-2. Calgary's 5-4. Number 1 star of the game with the goal and assist, Jonathan Drouin. The number 2 star of the game with 2 assists, Max Domi. And the number 3 star of the game with the goal and assist, Jeff Petrie. The Bruins defeated the Senators 4-1. Good win for Boston, who improves to 5-2-2. Ottawa's 4-3-1. The number 1 star of the game with 38 saves on 39 shots, Tuukka Rask. Boy, did he need that. Number 2 star of the game with a goal and 2 assists, Patrice Bergeron. Number 3 star of the game with a goal, Thomas Chabot. The Sharks came back and defeated the Predators 5-4. 3 unanswered goals in the third. They're 5-3-1. Nashville drops to 7-2. The number 1 star of the game with a goal and 2 assists, Brett Burns. The number 2 star of the game, 2 goals and assists, Victor Vridsson. Number 3 star of the game with a goal, Joe Pavelski. The Blackhawks defeated the Ducks 3-1. Good win for the Blackhawks as they improved to 5-2-2. Anaheim's 5-4-1. The number 1 star of the game with the goal, Patrick Kane. The number 2 star of the game with 2 goals, Brandon Saad. Number 3 star of the game, John Gibson, 35 saves on 37 shots. The Stars defeated the Kings 4-2. The Stars, with a big win, improved to 4-4. LA drops to 2-6-1. The number 1 star of the game with the goal, Tyler Pitlick. The number 2 star of the game with the goal, Blake Comeau. And the number 3 star of the game with the goal and an assist, John Klingberg. The Penguins defeated the Oilers 6-5 in overtime. This was a great game last night. Pittsburgh's 4-1-2. Edmonton's 3-3-1. Number 1 star of the game with 2 goals, Sidney Crosby, including the overtime winner. First 2 goals of the year, by the way. Number 2 star of the game with 2 goals, Leon Draisaitl. Number 3 star of the game, a goal and an assist, Connor McDavid. Tonight's slate, 4 games, 7 o'clock, Panthers, Islanders, and on NBCSN you have the Maple Leafs and the Jets. So you have the first 2 picks in the 2016 draft going head-to-head in Austin Matthews and Patrick Laine. I think the Jets are due for a big game and a big win. I don't think how Toronto looked against the Blues. The Jets came back and defeated the Blues. I think the Jets have a lot of momentum right now, so give me the Winnipeg Jets at home. 9:30 on NBCSN, you have the Lightning and the Avalanche, 2 teams with a combined 2 regulation losses, 3 overtime shootout losses, and 11 wins. And this should be a fun game. The Lightning are the better team, but I like the Avalanche with their home ice advantage here. Gabriel Landeskog, Nathan MacKinnon, and Mikko Rantanen are a phenomenal line, and I think they'll lead the Avalanche to a big win over the Tampa Bay Lightning. And at 10 o'clock, you have the Canucks and the Golden Knights. Canucks have been a big surprise so far, and the Golden Knights have rebounded after their 1-4 start to get back to 500. The New York Football Giants have traded Damon Harrison to the Detroit Lions for a 5th-round pick, and yesterday they traded Eli Apple to the New Orleans Saints for a 2019 4th-round pick and a 2020 7th-round pick. The fire sale is officially done or underway in New York. I think there's more coming. I think that Janoris Jenkins can go. I think that everyone's available except for Odell Beckham Jr. and Saquon Barkley, and I don't think they're going to trade Eli Manning because he has the no-trade clause, and I think he's going to retire at the end of the year. It's a spoiled prediction right there. And I just don't see Eli Manning wanting to play anywhere else. So, and I know it's been a hard year for him. He's had a terrible season. And I just don't see anybody trading for him because they know he's washed. And I just don't see Eli wanting to go anywhere because he spent his whole life in New York. So that's just a hard situation. But I applaud the Giants for realizing that they weren't a contender and starting to blow things up. They should have did this last year, but Jerry Reese was too stubborn to do it. But I give Dave Gettleman props, but I think he should be getting more. But we'll see if somebody overpays for one of these guys. I think they did a fair job in the Apple deal. I think they should have gotten a 2nd or a 3rd for Snacks. But they get a 5th. And the reason why they got a 5th is because of the contract that Jerry Reese gave them. Again, Jerry Reese deserves a lot of blame for this dumpster fire that is the New York Football Giants. Because a lot of this is his players and his missed draft picks that are failing to do the job. Okay, and the Giants rent. And if the Giants continue to make more moves, I'll analyze them on this very podcast. And by the way, I think these were great trades for the teams who made them in the Lions and the Saints, especially the Lions, because they need help on the defensive line. And they haven't really had a pass rush since they lost Ndamukong Suh a few years back. So great move for them. And from a New Orleans standpoint for Eli Apple, I think he'll help them in their secondary, which is pretty good. They have Marshawn Lattimore in there, who's a stud. Their defense has been a little better since getting off to a slow start. And Eli Apple didn't play terribly this year, but he was awful last year. So I think that was a good pickup for New Orleans. I'll be back tomorrow recapping all the NBA and NHL, of course, the Game 2 of the World Series. Bowl projections for Week 9 of the college season I'll also be doing. And I'll pick all the Thursday games for college and NFL. I think we have about 5 college games tomorrow, and of course we have Thursday Night Football between the Texans and the Dolphins. I hope you guys have a great day, everybody.